Hello.
Hi, it's Carly.
Hi, it's Nay.
And this is Hotties with a Poddy, a podcast where two close friends casually talk about what's important to them, not in a broadcasty newsy type of way.
Yes, we are here. We're on episode 5 and we are excited. We're going to get into some juicy stuff today. Okay. So, Carly,
yes.
Talk to me. How are you doing? How was your week?
I'm doing good. My week's been busy. Kind of like halfway through this week, I had to drive home because I had surgery a couple of weeks ago and I needed to get the stitches out this week. Mm-hmm. So I'm lucky because I work part-time, so I can kind of like jump around. But I did like half of the week in the new place that I'm living, and then the other half of the week living in my parents' house again for like just this weekend. But it's been nice, and I celebrated my birthday with my family last night, and it's so cute to like get to hang out with them and see them, because I know that I don't get as much time as I should like with my grandparents and stuff. So I'm just happy that I get the time to see them now. How are
you? Carly's birthday is coming up, by the way. The celebration with her family was yesterday, but her birthday is next week. I also wanted to ask you, okay, fine, I'll talk. Okay. I want to ask you later how you feel about your birthday coming up. But anyway, okay, I'm doing fine.
Okay, fine. Fine. What kind of fine?
I'm doing okay. Friday was all right. There was like an interaction at work that kind of set the tone for my mood for the rest of the day. So that wasn't the best, but I got a lot of support. So you know what? We're okay. And then doing okay this weekend. I was definitely pretty sad yesterday, and then it bled into today, but I did get some rest. I did practice some self-care. I watched the Love is Blind reunion, so that's really fun. I know. Cute. Team Cameron and Lauren, they're so cute. Okay, but then back to my question. Okay, how do you feel about it being your birthday soon?
Oh,
we'll like have feelings and thoughts when their birthday come up.
Super weird, dude. Super weird, because I'm turning 25, so it's like I'm halfway through my 20s, and I'm looking back now, and I'm like, what did I do? And I did a good amount, but I still have 5 more years in my 20s, so I'm not done yet. But I don't know why being halfway through, it's like, oh, that's it. Like in like a year, you're gonna be 30. That's because that's not how it works. Like I have the exact same amount of time that I just had in my 20s to do even more. And now I'm more mature than I was when I turned 20.
Oh, hell yeah. So you are very mature.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm probably going to do like even better shit, hopefully, like get my life together by 30, hopefully. I don't even know what that means.
That's true. Like, what does that mean?
Like, I don't really, it's just a saying at this point. Like, I think maybe
more people are trying to break it. Like, I feel like our generation, we're not trying to break it, but we are just kind of like, but then at the same time, we're like, oh, it's like both.
I know. 30 is such an arbitrary number. I feel like Nay and I had this conversation a while ago, though, where I kind of told her about how like I used to have this plan, but that like I was going to meet my partner around this time so that I could be like married around 27, so that I could have kids by like 29 and 31. But like, I don't care about that dream anymore. That's like not something that I even think I want right now. So like throwing that dream out the window, it's just different. And I'm sure it'll be different in 3 years or 4 years when I'm like nearing the end of my 20s and figuring out what I want then. Like how much changes in 5 years is insane.
Truly.
I was just FaceTiming with a friend from high school that I kind of reconnected with recently. And we were talking about just like how different we were in high school and how our perceptions of ourselves in high school is so different from how we see each other. And like, we were both like, oh my gosh, I thought you were wonderful. And she was like, oh my gosh, I thought you were wonderful. Like, but we never connected in high school. And we both had like pretty lonely experiences. But like now that we're older, we're able to like connect and share what we felt and like be at this level now where we really get along and can have that relationship that maybe we were missing like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So I really went on a tangent, but that's how I'm feeling about being 25 is like older, more mature, but also still super open to having fun, meeting new people, like developing my life.
Definitely. I feel like in general, people get weird when they're 25. Like when their birthday comes up, they're like, oh shit. Like it breeds a whole conversation. And then that happens again when they're 30. But
yeah,
I like that. That's so wholesome. And then also just
yeah.
you breaking that timeline or just like, I'm doing like a fist motion.
Yes.
That's cool. Timelines are weird. It's an interesting topic to talk about. But yeah, I think just in general, everyone's on their own timeline. And it is interesting to reflect back. Even as a kid, I was like, I am going to have a boyfriend when I didn't have like an exact age, but it's like, I'm going to have a boyfriend when I'm like an adult, like 18, 19, 20. And then I'm going to be married by like 30, just because the reference point for me was just like, that's around the age my mom got married. So I'm like, I don't even know.
And that makes sense because my timeline was built on like my parents' marriage and stuff like that too. It's just like, that's the frame of reference you have for like being an adult and having a life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But things are so different and you're so right. Yeah. Like so much changes over the course of a year, over 5 years. I'm excited to continue our journey as friends, just as adults, moving forward into our late 20s. It's crazy to say that, but it's just the truth. So
I know we're gonna have fun though. We have plans. Okay, we have like 20-something plans. We're not old.
We ain't old. Even if we are old, we're still gonna be having fun. Okay,
that's true.
Hell yes. Yes.
And like talking about how we've been doing and checking in, like. Yeah. It might be a good time to dive into success and hot mess of the week.
Okay, I'll just go first, I guess. Yeah. Success of the week was that I saw some friends throughout the week. My friend from the Bay, shout out Divya, she's actually going to be in LA for a little while temporarily. So I've just been trying to spend a lot. I know. I've just been trying to spend like a lot of time with her. So she's like a friend from college and she like joined me on my walk on Thursday, and her housemate, we like met at the place she's staying first. And then her housemate has a dog. And then her housemate was fine with us taking her dog with us. So it was like very fun. Then
interesting.
We, like, stared at cute boys. So yeah, it is interesting.
That sounds great.
I know, it was so wholesome. You would have loved it because it was like sunset. But yeah. And then, so that's my success. I saw a couple friends and then hot mess, cried on Friday. And then I think I cried yesterday. So
how do you think you cried? Like,
because it felt like I did, but I don't have like an exact recollection.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah. I just called Carly and I was like, I didn't cry on the phone, but I was just like, I'm mad, blah, blah, blah. It was all upset.
Yeah, what you went through yesterday was frustrating. So we don't have to get into it, but it makes sense that you were feeling a lot yesterday. And like, based on what you talked about from Friday and kind of like work ending on a sour note, it makes sense that you're going to have like more feelings this weekend and this week than normal.
Definitely. Thanks, girly. Okay, but how about you? What is your success and hot mess of the week?
Okay, I'll talk about my hot mess first because I've been telling everyone about it. It's not a big deal either. I've never had surgery that required stitches that don't like dissolve. Like I had oral surgery and I think I had stitches for that. But they eventually just dissolved and my mouth healed. But I had like stitches in the place where my cyst was. And the surgery that I had like required that I don't sit for a while.
Right.
So I've just been standing a shit ton and laying down on my stomach. And I
like imagine that for weeks. That's what Carly was doing. She was standing.
I still have to do it. Even though my stitches are out, I still have to stand and sit. She like encouraged me to keep doing basically what I've been doing while I had stitches, but now it's out and I have a tiny little baby infection. So now I have to take antibiotics. So I bought a shit ton of kombucha for as soon as I'm done with the antibiotics, but I've been like paranoid about COVID because my antibiotics are eating all of my good probiotics too. So So that's my hot mess.
I got you, sister.
And then my success, I think, is just being able to be with my family and like enjoy my time with them. I know before when I was living here, sometimes it would like feel more contentious, and I feel lucky that I am able to like get those happy moments that I've been wanting with my family when I go away and come back. Like sometimes it's better with my family when I get some distance and then I'm back here for a couple of days and then go back.
As opposed to just being in the same house like every day.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you appreciate the good moments more too, I think.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So sweet.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about the infection. That is annoying. Having to stand for weeks is already annoying, but
yeah,
I'm wishing for a speedy recovery for you, Carly. And
Thanks,
obviously,
girl.
let me know if you need anything.
Mm-hmm. Before we kind of dive into whatever's next, I think Nay and I just wanted to express our gratitude. We released 2 episodes of our podcast. So we're recording this like a couple of weeks after the release of episode 1. And we just want to say we're so grateful for the responses already. And we've been getting like tons of positive messages and more people wanting to listen. So I just want to say that I'm really excited. And I hope that you continue coming along for the ride with us.
Definitely. Thank you so much for listening and for the feedback. I've had a couple friends reach out just saying that they just appreciate like the mindfulness aspect and like how Carly and I speak to each other. My friend Jules was like saying that we speak to each other very respectfully or something. And I just thought that was so nice to hear. So thank you for listening and tuning in. And we hope that, I don't know, we continue to hope that this is a podcast that you can just listen to, chill to, relate to. Yeah, reach out to us, please. Email us, respond to our Instagram stories, just talk to us.
Yeah, contact us whenever about anything. We're here.
About anything. No, I'm just kidding. Not anything. Well, okay. God.
Advice hotties.
But yes, email us and reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
Okay, Carly.
Yes.
So today we wanted to talk about a couple things. We want to talk about flirting, flirting etiquette.
It's a big topic.
It is a big topic. Oh gosh.
And we touched on it like a little bit before, but like we're going to hear Nay has some stories that she wants to share, it sounds like. And and I'm just excited to get into like the nitty gritty too. I love like conceptualizing things that humans do in real life. That's like the psychologist in me. So flirting.
Okay. So it hasn't always been my strong suit. Because I first of all, I get nervous just like anybody else. And then also like, I don't know, I just get fucking awkward. But like now that I'm off dating apps, I deleted like Bumble and Hinge and whatever. So
congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a couple of weeks and like I've been really happy about the decision. It was nice while it lasted, but I'm good on that right now. So now there's more like of an emphasis on trying to interact in person. And I think I just want to challenge myself to like keep putting myself out there. I think I'm being hard on myself when I say that I'm like awkward. I just think I feel awkward, but I'm not. So, okay. But anyway, so I have a couple friends who really like push me when we're like out and about. Like they push me to put myself out there and like flirt with people. And I really appreciate that because it's hard to just kind of do it on your own. It's good to have friends who are like, they're like, you got this. And they give you like tips and pointers and whatever. So I was out with my friend a couple weeks ago and there were like a couple guys that I said to her that I thought they were cute. And we were like at this bar or whatever. And then she gave me the idea of doing like a name game with him. Like if I were to go up to him and she's like, basically how it works. She like pulled up her notes app and she was like,
she was like already prepared. Like, this is how I flirt. Like this one.
It works. I mean, like it's worked.
Teach me.
God, let me just get into it. Okay. So she was like, you think of 3 possible names for this person, like names that you would think that his name is. So We just like thought of 3 different names. Brad,
Greg.
Chad, and Greg. Yeah, literally wrote it on the notepad. And then she's like, go up to him and say that like, you know, you and your friend like made a bet or something, or like she dared you to like go up and like ask him if these were his names. And like, I think that's cool because it's very low stakes and like, it's kind of funny. And then it also like the guy gets the message, like he knows that you're there to like talk to him because maybe you think he's cute, whatever. And then you just kind of see how the conversation goes basically. So this bitch, this bitch. Okay, I was very nervous. I was like, literally, I walked there. I started walking towards him and then I walked back because I was like motioning to my friend, like, no, like I can't do this. And then she was like, Nayam, go. She like literally like was like hand motioning me to go. Yeah, she like really wanted me to do this. And this is good because I need this. Like I need this experience. Okay, so after many attempts to talk her out of me doing this, I was like, fuck it, fine. So I like walked up to this guy and I was like, oh, like, you know, my friend like and I made a bet, or like she like dared me to like go up to you. Like I was just wondering if like any of these are your names. And to be honest with you, I don't remember what his like actual name was. He was like, no, like this is my actual name, blah blah blah. And then I realized that like the conversation flows if that person's like down to talk to you once you break the ice. So I think for me and for a lot of people, like breaking the ice is like the biggest challenge because it's nerve-wracking and you don't want to get rejected or like I don't know, it's just like a little bit nerve-wracking. So yeah, but then I'm like, after that experience, I was like, hey, I could actually do this because he and I ended up just having a nice conversation. I asked him like what he did for work. And then I thought he said production. And then I was like, oh, my friend that I'm with is like actually in media. And like, and he was like, no, like I do this. I like misheard him. So I was like, oh, okay. But
that's okay.
Like, I know. I was like, in my head.
Especially when you're like in a club or somewhere with loud music, like, of course you're not going to hear what they're saying.
I know. I was like, come again. No.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then he was actually younger than I thought because he had a little bit of facial hair. And then he was like, I was like, so how old are you? And then he was like, oh, I'm 21. And I was like, no way. I was like, I'm 25. Like out of my preferred age range, right? He's like, people always think that I'm like 25 or like in my like older 20s or whatever. And then I was like, people always think that I'm like in my younger 20s. And I was like, ha ha ha. And then, so like the conversation ended by me saying like, okay, I'm going to be over there like with my friend. I'm going to go back. But it was like really nice talking to you. And then like, what is it? Throughout the night, my friend and I saw him like looking over and stuff, which I thought was interesting. But then I was like, I thought to myself like, oh, maybe I should have given him my number. But then at the same time, I'm like, I wasn't too interested, you know, after talking to him. And then I was like, he knows where I am. Like he could see me. Like if he wants to chat more, like he can come over basically. But I think guys just get intrigued when like girls make the first move.
A mystery woman that has confidence. Wow.
He was like, he wasn't looking like that, but he was just like looking over and I was like, oh, gotta go. Okay. But that's one of my stories.
That's so exciting, Nay. Like debriefing, how was that? Like, is that something you would do again? Is there anything you would do differently?
Yeah, I think I would definitely do it again. I think that obviously breaking the ice is hard and then we can make a lot of like excuses not to do it. Like, oh, like, I don't know, insert reason here. But I think that you should just do it for yourself. Even if you're not like, oh my God, that guy looks like a goddess. Like I feel super inclined, even if you don't feel that way, even if it's just like, oh, he's kind of cute. You should just go talk to him because it's for you. It's to like build that experience and get a feel for different types of people that you meet, which is always valuable. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for sharing, Nate. Like, that's so exciting. I have yet to approach a person and hit on them, but my therapist...
Carly, use your business cards.
I know you too. I need to bring them with me when I go out, but like, at this point, I'm not really going out anyway because of like Delta variant, but like, yeah, my therapist challenged me a couple of weeks ago when I told her I was going out. She was like, you need to try to approach somebody and just have a conversation with them just for the experience. And I was like, okay, Tanya, like if you say so, like, so I'm so proud of you.
If we're out and about, even during the day, like, I don't know, because I'm going to see Carly soon. So when we're like out and about, hey, literally just a hey. Honestly,
do you have any, like your friend had a whole notes page of
Or she just opened up the notes app.
Okay.
To like write the three. She gave me her phone. I didn't even write it on my phone, the 3 options. I took her phone. I was like, is this your name, sir?
That's so funny.
Yeah, she's very funny. It was hilarious. And then her and our other friend have done it before to like multiple guys. So it's just like a fun.
I like that.
Yeah, I think for me, I always thought that you had to, I don't know, go up to them and be like, you're attractive and very cute. But then I think doing something that doesn't have to do with that sends the same message.
Yeah.
And it's lower stakes. You don't have to completely put yourself out there like that. Because I'm fine with telling people they're attractive. I've done it multiple times. You're sexy. But just say something that has nothing to do with them being attractive, and it literally sends the same message.
You can always like pick a topic that you like to talk about and see if they're interested also in that topic, like a first discussion around something that you're interested in, because that way you can talk about it and you'll feel like more comfortable talking about it than being like, hey, you're sexy, like let's talk. And then like, what do you talk about? Like, you don't even know what you have in common. So like you have to ask more questions versus like, hey, let's talk about food. I fucking love food. Like,
yeah, no, I'm all about that. You can elaborate, get in a little nice discussion, see what they have to say. No, yeah.
If anybody else has any flirting advice, specifically for Nay and I, for like how to approach people in the future, I'm super open to it. And I think Nay is too. So feel free to like leave a comment with like what's worked for you, or feel free to like email or DM us and we will talk about it more in the future, kind of as it comes up.
Definitely. It's just fun to talk about. And yeah, if you have any pointers, let us know.
Yes. So Nay, this you were saying,
them.
I know, same, dude. 2 single girls out here. It's tough. It's tough with no apps too. Like
no apps.
Just gotta meet people in the wild.
Yeah, Carly and I are both not on apps, actually. Why are we not on apps, Carly? Why do they suck? I kind of want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, for me, I just don't meet the right people on apps, or I haven't. And I get apps at times where I'm like too thirsty to actually be able to, I don't know, like make the right decisions. Like the thing that happens for me is I meet one person from an app that I click with and I'm like, yes, that's it. I don't need my app anymore. I'm just going to date this person. And then it like hasn't worked out.
Good conversation.
Yeah. No, exactly. Like, I don't know. So the pattern for me is that I get the app, I meet one person that I connect with and I'm like, okay, this is it. I connect with this person. And then it just hasn't worked out the last few years that's been the situation. But it's always been that I get the app in like October when I'm like, okay, I'm ready to date now. But that's too late. That's in like cuffing season. I don't know if people know what cuffing season is, but
we know.
Well, I want to explain for the people that don't. So cuffing season is the time of the year where all of the holidays are, and you are around family and other people who have partners, and you get to see them being all happy together and cuddly, and it's cold, and everybody just wants to like be at home cuddling with people. And like, so that's the time where I get desperate and I'm like, it'd be nice to cuddle with somebody, versus like the other 8 months of the year in California where it's like 80 degrees outside and like I don't need to be close to anybody.
The colder weather comes around. I just want a cuddle buddy. Exactly. That's very real and very reasonable. I've felt that. I felt that. Yeah.
So I made a deal with myself after this last year that I'm not going to get apps. If I do get apps, anytime during October through January. And maybe even February, because like February is still Valentine's Day, but like anytime that I'm going to be desperate to want to date someone, it's not the mindset that I should go into on the app. And also I don't think that apps provide the information that I really want. Like you can
What's the information you really want?
Like more about them as a person and what they're looking for. And it sucks because it does a little bit, but it's like very picture focused, very like anybody on a screen, I don't know. I'm not attached to anybody that I match with on apps because like they're not a real person until I meet them. Like, so I don't get attached.
That actually makes so much sense to me.
Yeah. But like when you meet someone in person, you like automatically remember, like I've been approached by a few guys in the last month.
Yeah, you have.
And like, they haven't been ones that I've been really interested in, but I remember them. And like, I kind of have a feel of like who they are, and like, at least in this little bite moment of talking to them, like what's going on and if I'm interested or not. And it's like not as easy when you look on an app and they're like, I'm in music, like my top artists on Spotify, or da da da.
Are
like,
Drake, Future, and Post Malone. I'm like, that's new. I'm an asshole.
I know. Tell me something else. Like,
I'm like, can you tell me something interesting?
exactly. I want to know information that's not in those questions.
Oh.
And yeah, and matching is weird. Like, the formula is weird. I think men have a hard time on it too, because like the decisions are being made more by women, I think, or something like that. Or maybe there's like less men and more women on apps, or vice versa. I don't remember, but I don't know. Nate, why do you not have apps anymore? Tell me about that thought process.
I mean, I think first and foremost, it's important to say that apps are not really for everyone. I think it's very popular for good reasons. I mean, I guess we're like in the digital age and it's really convenient, and not everyone has the lifestyle and the schedule to always be able to go out to meet people and stuff, or the type of jobs or whatever. So,
and it gets you out of your general social circle too. Like, you meet people that you never would, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, for me, I don't like dating apps because I don't think the quality of the interactions that I've had the past couple of years have been super great. I mean, I've been on a couple dates that have been okay and pretty nice, I guess. But again, I just don't know if it's the platform that supports what I'm ultimately looking for, which at the end of the day is a relationship. And then also there's a lot of ghosting that happens on apps. And I feel like it's not good for my mental health to constantly be going through that. And it's happened a lot. So
I think the shitty part about dating is that like we face rejection, but when it's more technical, like when it's like we're just talking through apps or through text and like we're not seeing each other face to face, it's so much easier for like other people to just be like, okay,
yeah, because
like,
we're not human. It's like what you said. I think people can probably relate to that mindset. I relate to it. I don't know if I can explain it in an articulate way, but it's hard to think of someone as like a whole person when like you haven't been on a date with them yet and you've just been texting and messaging, and I don't know. You have to see them, to see them, to feel them, to look them in the eye.
And I think there's like some level of emotional detachment on dating apps. Like, you're like, if it works out, if it works out, and if it doesn't, then like, then I'm not hurt by it. And like, until you attach to this person, like, you're going to be like, okay, no skin off my back if I just like stop responding.
Definitely. And that's facts. And there's a lot of quote unquote options on dating apps. So it's very easy to get really caught up in that. And that's not really my style. I think it's good. It could be helpful if you're not looking for anything serious and you're just looking to, I don't know, do something more casual. I think it could be really convenient for that. But yeah, not my style.
I feel it.
There's that. Flirting in person. It's cool to get to know people in person too, because it builds that real life experience. It builds that real life. I'm all about that shit. So I like doing things like, because you like, I literally, sometimes I don't know how to be super articulate, but you just feel it. Like when you have those types of experiences, you feel it.
It's so much more like fun and energetic too, to have like those real life flirting experiences versus like texting somebody. Like, I forget everything that I've ever texted that was flirty, but like in person, I remember like people complimenting me more and people like, and just like how interactions went versus like you're so hot. Blah, blah, blah. Like,
you're like, thanks, I know. Yes, exactly. Carly, I do have another experience that I wanted to share. Okay. Clears throat. Okay. So this happened a couple weeks ago. And then, okay, let me just try to tell the story in a clear way. I was with my friend and her friends, and then we were walking down the staircase or something of the bar, and we're like already inside. There's like a little staircase. walk down, and then we see these like group of guys like in the dark corner. I think they were like smoking cigarettes or something, looking all mysterious. Like it's really crowded, like the music's playing.
A smoky room.
Like... A smoky room, like gotta set up the scene. Okay. Yeah, they're being like all mysterious in the corner, and it's like really dark, so you can't really see them very well. But we like spotted them, and I told my friend that I thought one of the guys was cute. He was like he was very adorable. So I was like, oh, he's cute. And so we like pointed it out. I was a little bit inebriated, so some things throughout the night weren't like super clear, but basically, yeah. And then we ended up meeting at the staircase like a couple minutes later. So me and my friend and the group of guys. And then when I got up close.
Wait, how did you meet at the staircase? Was it just
happenstance? Girl, I don't know. This is where the inebriation. Literally, like, I think we just kind of like met. They happened to be in the same spot as we were there, like timing. And then when I got up close, the guy that I thought was attractive, I wasn't as attracted to him anymore. I just thought he was cute, but like, yeah. But then his friend was like looking at me and trying to like talk to me or whatever. And he's like this white dude, right? And like normally I'm not like very like attracted. I can acknowledge when a white guy is handsome, but I don't personally like usually go for them for the most part. But then I was like, interesting. And then he was like pretty cute. He kind of, I don't know if anyone here like keeps up with like Bachelor alumni, but he kind of looked like Connor Staley. He was like on Hannah Brown season, I think. I didn't watch that season, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So yeah, he kind of looks like that. I was like, interesting. And he like kind of had like a funny vibe. So I was like,
okay, that sounds like you. That sounds like a bit of you. Like that's what they say on Love Island. She's a bit of me.
That was good night. No, literally. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, funny guy, whatever. And then what happened?
So you're talking to this cutie.
Yeah.
And then
we're just talking. And he like made a comment about how he's like, why are you and your friends like avoiding us or whatever? And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Like we're literally, I had to pee.
We literally met you. Yeah.
We just met you. I'm like, what are you saying? And then I talked to his friend and I was just like, oh, you guys are the ones avoiding us. Like, and he was just like, no, like, he's just a gentleman. Like, he was talking about his friend. He was like, oh, he's just a gentleman, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then I went pee, and then I came back, and then we were just chatting. He was just kind of, like, standing there with, like, a goofy smile. So I was like, okay, so, like, what do you do for work? Like, what are you, like, do you live in this area or like, are you from another part of LA? He's like, yeah, originally like I'm from Toronto and like I work in sales, like at this tech company and like I'm a USC alum and like, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm like building this caricature in my head, like a judgmental bitch. No, cause it's like guys, my friend and I talked about this the other day, but like guys have like 5 personalities and that's honestly the truth. So me being an asshole. Okay. Anyway.
I want to know more about that, but if you don't want to talk about it on the pod, that's also okay.
No, they just kind of, I feel like like straight cis dudes, they like kind of, they're not as like unique. Like I feel like I think they inherit like interests that they have as personality traits. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, I now sound like an asshole, but okay. Anyway, back to the story. Yes. Okay, so he was
telling you about his life. You were forming like a person, a caricature of who he was.
And then he's like, yeah, I live on the west side. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I have a friend who lives like in that area and like she really likes it there because it's like closer to the beach and blah, blah, blah. Just like, he's like, what do you do? And I'm like, I work at a nonprofit. And he was like, what nonprofit? And then I'm like, I'm not going to tell you because I don't know you. And he's like, why not? Like, da-da-da-da. So I just like told him what we do and not like the name. And it was just like a nice conversation, whatever. And then I went away again and then like met him like inside the bar. And he was like, oh my God. There was also like another interaction where he like put his arm, while I was talking, he put his arm on the wall. And I was telling my friend that was so attractive. Like I was like internally, I was like, that's literally so hot. Yeah, like he was like
just casual.
Like fucking close to my face's arm. And he was the perfect height. Like literally he I angled my head slightly upwards and it was like literally so nice. Love a tall dude. Okay. But anyway, and then he was like, okay, so like my friends and I are gonna like leave and go get food. And then I was like, well, my friends and I are gonna stay here. So like, I don't know what to tell you. I was like feeling all brave. And then I was like, do you want my number or something? Like I couldn't tell if he was being awkward and shy or if he wanted me to come get food with him. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's not an ask. Like my friends and I are gonna go get food. Are you gonna stay here?
He wanted to see how I would respond, like, I guess. Like, I don't know.
It's just missing a little bit, you know?
Just a little bit. And then I was like, and then I asked him, and then he was like, oh, you're super beautiful, but like, I actually have a girlfriend. And I was like, I just
disappointing.
It was. I just pushed him gently, and I was like, go hang out with your girlfriend. And then I just walked away. But yeah, honestly, it was only disappointing because I really just wanted to make out with him, but that's the truth.
It's on the manifestation list for 2021, and I'm hopeful for you. We still have another 5 months of the year. So,
and my friend and I tried looking him up on Google based on the I don't even remember his name. I think his name was like Mike or something. I don't know for sure.
I was just telling my housemate that, sorry if any Mikes are listening, I'm not really a fan of Mikes anymore.
Me neither. Yeah. And not for me, for you. So,
well,
except for my friend Michael.
So I have a thing about names, and like the name really makes the person for me and tells me how they're going to be. So any Mikes are like thumbs down. Like I haven't gotten along with them. They're just like not my type of people, but Michaels are like always so sweet. Like it seems that's my experience with Michaels. Like
that's facts, because do you know the Michael from Katie season right now of Bachelorette? He's so sweet. He's so sweet. Yeah.
I love Michael. Little zaddy.
Michaels, but not Mike.
Exactly.
That's the rule.
But yeah, that's such a disappointing ending.
It was. I was like, let me kiss you in my head. And he's like, I have a girlfriend. I was like, fucking typical. I'm like, good night. Thanks, sir. But I love funny though. Like I said, he was really handsome, but like, yeah, not.
You need like a silly person. So I get that. You want somebody that's like kind of goofy, and like he was starting to fit your frame of kind of like what you're looking for in a person.
Bratty and funny.
Those are your criteria.
I work in sales. I was like, cool. I don't know. Okay. But that's my story. There's going to be more stories to come because unfortunately I have to keep interacting with men. So more stories to come. God.
I'm excited though.
Me too.
And I know we touched like a little bit on flirting etiquette, but was there anything else that you wanted to touch on that today? I feel like we could have like a whole discussion about it, like even more than less.
I feel like conversations about boundaries around dating and flirting are important because I don't really hear of them happening too often, if that makes sense. So like, yeah, I mean, my boundary was just like when he asked where I work, I was just like, I literally don't know you. So like stuff like that. And then just being respectful. There was another encounter actually with a guy a couple of weeks ago, the night that I went up to that 21-year-old. I think when it comes to bringing up certain topics or like flirting physically, it's important to really understand that, like, especially like if you don't know that person, like just remind yourself that you don't know that person. Like always ask for consent. I don't think it always happens when you're just casually flirting or like when you're going in for a kiss and stuff. It's not like super common from what I'm aware of. So like just always ask because you really don't know somebody like before you like bring up certain topics that are maybe a little bit more sensitive or something, and you just expect to have like a full-on conversation about certain things when you should like be a little more mindful of stuff like that. I don't know if that's too vague from like a listening standpoint, but yeah.
I think I agree though. Like always asking for consent or like being okay with somebody's boundaries is like what's important, and it should be what we look for in people. It's like, oh, they're okay when I set the boundary that I like don't really want to tell you exactly where I work because I don't know them. Like, and kind of with that like side topic, like men in general don't really understand how scary it is for women generally like meeting men who are strangers and being like, here is my life. I don't know you. I don't know if you're going to like allow me to be safe.
And that's facts.
Yeah. So like some men might find it weird that you don't want to tell them where you work exactly, but like
that's super true.
It's a safety precaution, a boundary for me so that I can feel like I can keep talking to you. And
yeah, we
like,
can talk about that later. Like,
mm-hmm.
you know, we don't have to talk about it like the first time we talk. And, but yes, exactly. Yeah. And I think also, I don't know how else to explain this, but like people who don't initially ask those types of questions, like that's kind of a green flag when people aren't like, where exactly do you work? Like what company? Not that this guy was saying it like that.
Yeah,
I think he was genuinely curious and just trying to be funny. But yeah, I think when people don't ask questions like that too, it's just like the little subtle things. Like I noticed too when they're just like, okay, cool, you're in mental health or something. Like, and I'm like, ooh, okay, but God, but yeah.
Okay. So respecting your boundaries and just being respectful in general. It's kind of like the etiquette that you want to see and Definitely. You use.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be like robotic, like, you know, can I put my arm around you? Like it could just be natural, just checking in, being like, hey,
are you okay? Yeah, exactly.
Just like little things. Okay. But how about you, Carly?
No, I think the same thing. Like, I don't know what other etiquette. I think just like being honest. Like not enough people are honest about like what's going on for them.
Being honest. That's
this is dating etiquette, I guess, more than flirting etiquette. But like
human decency etiquette. Unfortunately, when you date men, a lot of them are fucking liars. Can you honesty? Yeah, I agree. Being honest is super important. God.
Yeah. No, I think so. But that's more like dating etiquette than flirting etiquette. Flirting etiquette for me, I guess, like is having a conversation and being be actually interested in me and who I am. I know I know if you're talking to me that you think I'm cute or you think I'm hot or whatever. Like I know that you're attracted to me if you talk to me already. So like,
yeah, don't look around the room or something while you're talking. I'm like, right
but
here.
Like, if you're attracted to my body, you should also be attracted to my personality. Otherwise, it's just like, don't talk to me.
I agree. And you're such an interesting person. I'm like, to have that privilege.
Aww.
Soak it up, brother. Look her in the eye.
Yes, girl.
It's the truth.
Look her in the eye.
Look her in the eye. Be honest. No, God. But yes, exactly.
Good. Okay. Any final thoughts on flirting and just general, like, your experiences?
Not really. I think you should just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Be brave.
Yeah, be brave.
Mm-hmm. And like for the last year and a half, like since I really started getting into yes theory, seek discomfort has kind of been a motto that I try to live by that really pushes me. So like when you're in uncomfortable situations, that's when you grow the most. So put yourself in at least like one uncomfortable situation, see how it goes and see if it's something that you could continue doing. And like from experience, you know how to cater it better. Like the only way to get better at something that you're scared of doing or like is uncomfortable is trying and continuing to do it.
And that's facts. Yes. Period.
Did you want to get into Hotties of the Week a little bit? Talk about some people who we think are just like wonderful and hot for whatever reasons.
Yes, sure. Well, my Hottie of the Week this week is this season's Bachelorette, Katie Thurston. And she's my Hottie of the Week because just throughout the season, I've just watched the way she carries herself and the way that she's just herself, basically. Like throughout the whole season, she treats herself and the men that she's getting to know with so much respect and thought. Like even just the way that I've watched her break it off with certain guys, it's just so thoughtful. And I remember there was this one rose ceremony, I think it was towards the beginning of the season, where she told the guys, like, you know, if I send you home today, like it's nothing personal towards you, human being. It's just like she has her own agenda of getting engaged at the end of this, so she needs to find the right person.
Yeah,
I just paraphrase that, but I just really vibe with her because she's so kind and she's such a smart lady. And I've watched a couple of the interviews that she's done once the show started airing, and just like the way she carries herself, she's very much. I know she's cool. So she's my Hottie. She's
like so articulate too. Like she's just able to express what she's saying perfectly from the beginning. And I'm like, man, I want Katie's skills.
Girl, You are so clear in
Thanks,
my
girl.
POV. Like you're very clear in the way you communicate your words. So, but I understand, like I picked up on that about her too. Like she's like, I feel this way and I'm just not sure if I have a connection with this person. And I'm like, damn girl. Yeah. Okay. But how about you? Who is your hottie of the week?
My hottie of the week is Jameela Jamil. I don't know, for those of you who don't know, she's an actress and a model and an activist, like all in one person. And she's beautiful and she's Pakistani and like, she's British too. So she has like a wonderful accent, but she's my hottie of the week this week. She's really my hottie of the week every week. I just look up to her a lot. She has like her own personal Instagram page, and she also has a Instagram page called iWay that I talked about a couple of weeks ago. That's really just about body neutrality and like focusing on more of who you are as a person than what your body looks like. And she is like admitted to having an eating disorder in the past and like being in recovery from that. And I'm just like so thankful that she's willing to be vulnerable and share her experiences and put in the energy and effort to allow people to create a mindset for themselves that helps them grow. And she's also like very good at calling people out too when they need to be. Like she calls out the Kardashians and anybody that does like tummy tea advertisements and stuff like that. Like she like really focuses on making sure that the internet is a healthy place for people so that they can continue to be themselves and not have to be so insecure about their bodies and what's going on. Yeah.
A strong, smart woman.
Exactly.
I've seen some of her posts on social media. She seems very aware and she's always advocating for different issues, which I admire.
Yes. And she also has an iWay podcast too that she's had Lizzo on, she's had Sam Smith on. I think that's where Sam Smith
all icons
as non-binary too. But like she just is really good at having conversations and like just being herself. And so I love her.
And that's the shit we like.
I
love Lizzo.
Girl. I know.
Final thoughts. When you said Lizzo, well, obviously she's an icon, but also made me excited about us seeing her soon.
We're gonna go see her soon.
It's very excited. Fist bump. Okay. God. Okay. Any final thoughts for you? Because I don't think I have anything more.
I mean, I think I'm just really happy that we got to have a conversation today about flirting. I love talking about dating. It's like the thing that I'm sometimes most passionate about. So it's nice to have these conversations and hear about your experiences and like what's been different for you. Yes. Tune in. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely more to come. And it's a topic that I love learning and talking about too. So I'm excited to dive in more.
Yay. Okay.
Well,
subscribe to the Poddy if you want to be a hottie.
Leave a 5-star review if you want to be cool. And make sure to follow us on various platforms, IG, Twitter, TikTok. You can also email us at hottieswithapoddy@gmail.com. And then, remember to be hot and know your worth. And have a good rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.